Sahab Singh, one of the instructor of PDSA course. One thing, can anybody tell me, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir.
okay, okay. Okay, so this is the first open session for week one. So if you have any query regarding the week one and about the course, anything, so you can just raise your hand and we will take your query one by one. Yeah, good evening all. One second, yeah, we say, go ahead.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding those str function and those functions which were discussed in the lecture by Madhavan sir. So,
str
because
function, add function, multiple function, mul, this type of
yeah,
function.
sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'll take these things. Any others doubt? So we will start
Hello,
from the
sir.
first.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, can you please let us know how we will proceed, sir? This is first class. So, like we have 2 classes in a week. So whether we will have coding also, and how we will be going forward? Can you please share once?
Okay, okay. So there are 2 sessions basically. These are the scheduled session, and if required, we can conduct one more session. That will be the on-demand session, if required. Okay, so in this session, this is the open session. You can ask anything. You can ask the concept of the week. You can ask any problem which discussed in the week. So you can ask anything about the week topics. And in the next second session, which is called the live coding session, so that session is related to the coding session, where we will provide you some programming problems, and within 2 hours you have to finish these problem. So, and if you are facing any problem to solve these problems, you can ask in between to the instructor. So I think 2 session is enough. If any week, if required, we will conduct one more session on the basis of on demand. So for first, the strategy to learn this subject is basically first watch all the lecture, and after watching the lecture, just understand the concept of the algorithm. Basically, this is the first week, so where sir discuss about the basic concept of the Python. But after second week, you will learn the new algorithms related to the different type of topics. So from the second week onwards, so first watch all the lecture, understand the concept of the algorithms, just try to solve some example with the algorithms, then just try to implement the algorithm by your own, and after that just try to solve the assignments. So practice assignment is there, so just try to first theoretical assignment, after that you can try to solve the programming assignment. So so there are approx 5 programming assignment is available for each week. So I think you can solve these programming assignment, 5 assignment in 1 week. That is enough time. So actually, this data structure and algorithm, basically this subject require more practice. Without practice, you cannot learn this subject effectively. So because of that, there are many programming part is there. One is practice programming assignment. Second is graded programming. Then live coding. Then CodeChef competitions. So after doing all these type of problems, so you can learn everything clearly, and you can improve your programming skill as well as the logical thinking skills. So just start with the watching the lecture first, then go ahead with the every content. Okay, any other query?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Avani.
Sir, can you please tell me about the CodeChef app, sir, shared in the discourse? I have registered in the app, and do I need to practice on CodeChef every day, or how should I proceed? in
Not
that?
every day, actually. I think 1 second, I'm sharing the screen. If you see the portal, so I think one new unit add in the portal, CodeChef contest, and one contest schedule are given here. Okay, so first contest will be start from the 9th May, and this will be end to the till the 15th May. So you have approx 7 days to finish one contest of the CodeChef. So just solve. I don't know the exact number of the problems in the contest right now, but these problem will be basically the level of the problem will be easy and moderate.
Okay, so this will be linked to the content we are reading.
Sorry.
Means this is the similar
Yeah.
to the.
So yeah, similar to the graded and programming assignment. So the problems will be based on the same topics of the weekly wise. If you are learning the sorting algorithm, searching algorithm in the week 2, so the problem will be also based on these topics. So and your graded assignment and practice assignment problem is also similar to these type of contest based problems.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Any other? Yeah. Who's this? Bhavya. Yeah, Bhavya.
Sir, like CodeChef has a lot of problems for practice, right?
Yes.
So would you reckon that doing those would help us for these competitions, or is it the other way around? Like, what is the relative difficulty level between the practice questions of CodeChef and the questions which IITM has for us?
Actually, we have the same level. So in the practice programming assignment and graded programming assignments, we have the same difficulty level. So most of the questions are easy and moderate level, and some questions are basically come from the difficult high level, hard level. And same thing for the CodeChef contest. So the problem are configured as a easy and moderate level only, not the much hard level.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, any other query about the course?
Hi, good evening, Bimlesh here.
Yeah, good evening, Vimlesh. Yeah.
Yeah, I had submitted my CodeChef username through Google Forms,
Okay.
and now I have after that, where just now I logged in. Now my username is showing different, but now I cannot submit through Google Forms. The correct update, maybe someone at the backend would have updated the basis my roll number and all.
Oh.
So how I can do that? Or should I write to support team separately on this?
Not support. I think Omkar has provided some Google form. So if you have any query, you can ask to the same post, discourse post. You can post your query on the same thread on the discourse where Omkar posted about this contest related things.
Correct. So
Actually,
I had
Omkar,
received this
actually,
email.
Mhm.
I had received this email subject like announcement on PDSA, in which we were supposed to complete our registration for CodeChef and then fill up the Google form for CodeChef username. I had done that earlier, and where my username was being displayed, and I had submitted that username, and the basis that you didn't with the same login credentials, just now I tried logging in, and the username is updated over there, but now I cannot submit my username over there. So that is the thing.
Okay. No, I'm just talking about that. The discourse forum.
Yes,
What
yes.
is the discourse forum? So one post is related to about this CodeChef competition, which Omkar is posted. So if
Mhm.
you have any doubt, you can post on the same thread. So Omkar will reply on that, because Omkar is looking everything about the CodeChef things.
Okay, I'll try doing that. Thank you.
Okay, so say on the same thread, just post your query, then Omkar will reply on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. What are the comments?
Is Omkar so still part of the team?
Yeah, actually, Omkar is just only looking for the CodeChef things.
Okay, because on portal it was just two names, your and Bhaskar.
Yes, yes. He's looking only for the CodeChef things for the PDSA and Python.
Okay.
And he's the part of the CT team and Python team, not the PDSA actually.
Oh.
Okay. Sir, will there be any ebook like okay? Yeah, so we have created one e-textbook. So one GitHub page that we have created, and the link is yeah, someone is posted in the chat box. Yeah, so same things. I'm just sending you. Yeah. So you can use this page, GitHub page, where the all implementation are available. So I'm just showing you. Yeah. So this is the one page which we have created, where all the week contents are available. Just implementation and summary of the each week are available. Okay. So for the detailed discussion, you can see the PPTs which are available in the supplementary contents of the portal. So like this, for example, week 1. So yeah, so these are the some topics which sir has covered in the week 1. So all implementation we have included in this page. So you can just look the implementation, and you can just copy the implementation, and you can use for your purpose. Okay, so this is the one place where you can find every implementation, and you can use this page also for the revision purpose. So for the just before the exam, you can just look all this summary part, and you can revise all the things. And time to time we will update this page.
Sir, where is the link of this ebook?
Yeah, I pasted in the chat box.
There are only 6 collab notebooks in collab notebook.
Yes. Actually, sir has provided the 6 weeks collab notebook for us. Because of that, the week. But after that, you can find every implementation from this GitHub page. Actually, sir, use the implementation in the PPT, but sir not provided these collab notebook for the others. But so you can find all the implementation from here.
Just understand that, but if someone from course team asks for those collab notebooks, then that can be updated in the dashboard.
Someone for us, sorry, I'm not getting you.
What I said, someone from you, the course team instructors, ask the professor for the collab notebooks.
Okay.
Then it can be
Actually,
updated in dashboard.
sir, I think sir work on the collab book, and sir create some PPTs. So sir, use these PPT to teach the topics only. Sir, just not implemented any code in the lecture videos. So because of that, sir not provided every single implementation in the collab, but we have all the implementation here. So all weeks, all implementation are available at this page. You can see all the implementation from here. Okay. Any other query? One second. Okay.
Sir,
Who is this? Okay. Yeah. Yashik?
Yes, sir. So I had a query that will we be having any GitHub session or something like that, so that we get a beginner friendly user how to handle the GitHub thing.
No. So there is no session related to the GitHub right now. But if there is session, if we conduct it, then we will announce to you.
Yeah.
Currently, there is no there is no session about for the GitHub handling.
Okay, sir. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Any other? Yes, we need a GitHub session. Sir, please do one session. Okay, we will try.
Or even if there is any relevant resource available, that could be delivered to us if there is any.
Okay, okay, sure. We will try. Yeah. Next, Jinath is, will PDSA coding session be focused on discussion about PPAs and GPAs? So Jinath, actually, PDSA live coding session is based on some new problems, where if the time is remaining, so after completion of the all problems, so in the week one, basically 6 problems are there. If you have completed 6 problems before the time, so for example, if you have completed 6 problems in 1 hour, so for remaining 1 hour you can ask these PPAs and GPA. Okay, so you can discuss this practice programming and graded programming question, but graded programming question you cannot discuss before the deadline. Okay, so for week one, so you can ask the GPA of week one in the week two live coding session.
So may I ask PPA?
Sandeep, yes, you can ask.
So PPA 1.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so this one. So Mahesh Wali, sir, what is the difficulty level expected for practice on course? So difficulty level will be easy and medium, not much hard.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So they
Yeah,
have a beginner. Their classification as beginner level, and
yeah, you can say the beginner level. Yeah,
if beginner level is there, then they don't.
beginner and then one after beginner. You can see this is not an advanced.
Okay. So 1-star beginner level.
Yes, yes,
Star
yes.
beginner and beginner level. These
Yes,
two.
yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So someone is asking, who is that? This PPA one. Hello. Yeah. Someone is asking about this PPA one. Who's that?
Yeah, sir, it's
Yeah, Sandeep. Yeah, Sandeep. Yeah. What's your query?
the how to run code fully.
Mm-hmm. So what's problem you are facing?
To create a two tuples.
To create a
Tuples.
okay. Can you share your code? I'm not getting what you are asking exactly.
One.
Sir, I also have a problem with PPA2. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some error on the. It was working for some time, then suddenly it stopped working.
Oh,
Can I share my screen if that is okay? Just
I think I don't know you are allowed to or not. Can you share your code?
on the chat. Okay, I will do that.
Yeah.
It's a long code actually. Okay, I will share.
Okay, you can send in the two part.
Sorry, sir. Hindi.
You can send in the two part. Don't copy in the complete. Just
Okay.
copy the half and then half.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
can
Kaushal.
you please discuss a little on classes and object that we sir discussed in lecture?
Okay, okay. I'll discuss after these PPA's problem. Okay. We
Okay,
will
sir.
start from the first topic.
Sir, I'm not able to share on the chat also. No, it's not pasting on the chat. I tried. I put it on discourse also, but I don't get any response.
When you posted,
Yesterday.
I think we are replying on every posted. Okay. 1 second. So okay, I stopped sharing. Just you can try to share.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know you are allowed or not.
No, it is host a disabled participant
Yeah.
screen sharing. Okay.
I think you can paste in the chat box. There is no issue. 1 second.
It's not allowing, sir.
1 second.
Sir, at least can for at least this course particular live lectures, can you just arrange this much flexibility to create breakout sessions so that like it's almost impossible for you to see each other our code, like so we can basically see each other code and then basically
Yeah,
help
so in the live coding session, we will use the Replit team, where you can we can look your code and you can we can look your Replit screen as well. If you are typing anything, so we can look at the same time. Okay, so same things. So I have Replit page. Can you send the username of the Replit, Mahesh?
Okay,
Oh,
just 1 minute, sir. I will just.
You can use justpaste.it and share the link to sir.
or I'm just creating inviting link, generated join link. So you can join here on the Replit. Just wait. So Mahesh, you can join the link
Okay,
which I have
I'm just
posted in the
pasting.
chat.
Okay, sir.
And someone is pasted the code for fallback. So Sandeep, I think this code is related to the graded assignment. Why are you posting here?
No, sir, it's PPA 2.
No, I'm just checking that. PPA2 is basically related to the twin primes, and you have posted this Goldbeck conjecture in the chat.
Sorry, sir. It's GRPA 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are talking about GRPA or PPA?
So I have doubt in PPA1, but I have posted GRPA2.
Okay, okay.
So PPA2 is about triangle, not twins.
Yes,
That is
yeah. PP2 is about
Yeah.
triangle, and PP1 is about twin planes.
Sir, I pasted it on Replit. PPA2.
Okay, yeah, got it. PPA2. Okay, and check that. A equal to input line number. Okay.
The input is the actually the fixed command that is not being put by me. A equal
No,
to
actually, error is something line number in 42, I think. So indentation is correct. Okay. What is this? Is there any bracket mistake? 1, 2, close. Close and close. Yeah, one bracket is
Bracket should be
left.
closed.
Yeah. Yeah, pass.
okay. I don't know how I missed that.
Oh.
Okay.
All passed, yeah. Okay. And yeah, Sandeep. Yeah, who is this? RS Tiwari. Prime flag. And between twin flames. Yeah, RS Tiwari, do you have any doubt in the PP1? You have posted the code in chat box.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have written this code and I could able to pass all 3 public test cases, but while I was trying to submit it, it could pass only 3 out of 7. So I didn't know what was the issue.
Okay. I'm just checking it. PPA1. That's a prime flag. And for Numpy, you have lost. Twin primes. So you have written the long code. Prime between.
First, I tried to assign a flag, true or false. Then I've written another function to find prime between two numbers. Then I tried to find twin prime using both the functions.
Okay, just test run it. So what is coming? Yeah, 3 out of 3 passed.
Yes, but private cases are not. Yeah.
3 out of 7 private test is passed. Okay.
Yes. So what are the other 4 test cases?
So I have to think about code. Actually, what are the input is range. Okay. So we have tested all types of the input. So I'm going on the replicate. Input, okay. It's sorted in primes. So what happened to primes? Check that. So for example, first is and 30 is. So 3, 5, 5, 7, and 11, 13. And what is the question exactly? The twin brings the two, for example, 3, 5, 5, 6. Okay. Here n and m are positive integer, n should be less than n. That returns all unique twin frames between unique twin frames. Okay, between m and n, both inclusive. The function returns a list of tuples equal a and b. Okay, so just test it. Another.
I think Rohit is saying there is issue in around 22 to 25. I don't know. What is it?
L equal to prime between. Yeah, so what's the Rohit is saying? There is a problem with line around. It may be possible that there is repeated of twins surpass 1 and 7. Okay.
Actually, there is no issue related to 5, 3 and 3, 5 because it is already shorted. So it will not be the problem.
Okay, just wait it. I'm looking at what are the test cases. So this is weak. Okay. You have 1 and 100. So 1 and 100. So the list is 3, 5, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 29, 31, 40, 43, 49, 61, 71, 73. After 73, there is no frame.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 and 10 we have checked, and 60 and 200. 1 second. 60 and 200. Yeah. So these are the 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what happens if we provide 17 and 19 two continuous prime number?
Then also it will consider 17 and 19.
17 and 19. I think, okay, now it is working fine. Okay. And it is 53. 73. So all test cases are working fine. Right. Okay, 7. So why this is not working? Okay. So we have to check black by light. So basically we are receiving twin primes n and m. Okay, twin primes we have created one list L equal to prime between n and m. So what is the prime between is doing? Prime between is here. It's also creating a list if n is greater than m. Okay.
Actually, it is creating list of prime number between n and m, where both the numbers are inclusive.
Okay. So if n is greater than m, then m equal to n. Okay,
just for safety purpose, if someone
okay. Therefore, I in range n to m plus 1. So we started from n and m plus 1. Okay. If prime underscore flag I If it is true, then you are appending this list and returning this list. Okay, what is your flag? Flag is n equal to import numpy is okay. You are using numpy, na?
Yes, sir.
So are you using numpy anywhere in your code after that?
No, sir. No, sir. In that class only. That is why.
Okay, 1 second. I'm just removing this numpy part, then check. Actually, numpy is also creating some issue in our portal.
It's while loop that is using numpy, I think. np.square root.
Oh, okay.
Line number 5 is using.
Okay, okay. Gotcha. So can we replace this np? So
You can replace with math.sqrt.
Yeah. Import math. So we can just write this np is less than equal to np square root of n. Okay, import math. And math dot
square root.
It is okay. We are passed. Actually, numpy have some issue in our portal.
Oh,
okay. So this is one request to all of you. Actually, in the week 4 and week 5, so where we will learn the graph concept. Actually, sir discussed this algorithm with the numpy. We are sir actually use this two-dimensional matrix using this numpy. But in the solution, please don't use this numpy in your solution code. Okay, just use the two-dimensional list, which you have already learned in the Python. Just use the two-dimensional list at the place of numpy matrix.
Sir, in that case, we have to write longer code because numpy.
No, not much difference there. Actually, we will represent this graph in the two-dimensional matrix. So we just used actually used this numpy np.array. So you can use you can create just two-dimensional matrix list, and just you can assign the value, the two-dimensional form. So not much to difference, just some axis and the method is different. So for example, if you are creating two-dimensional array from numpy, so you can just x is the element like this, 0, 2, like this. But if you have two-dimensional list, you have to just use this way. X is the element, 0, 2.
Sir,
but there is a small difference.
Sir, but there are arithmetical operation on numpy.
Not much used in our PDS course.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Actually, our team is working this numpy problem. I will raise this query once again. The operational team, why this numpy is creating problem. So your logic is correct. Only due to this numpy uses, the test case are failed.
Sir, there is huge use of numpy in other courses of machine learning, for example, machine learning techniques and practices. So fixing the numpy is only the solution.
Yeah, team is working. Actually, last time we have faced this issue in the graph unit, graph weeks. So same times, actually error is something different. We are not getting what is the exact error. Some date time issue is coming when we are using numpy. So team is looking for that, and I think they will fix it very soon. But till now, ignore this numpy use for problem solving for assignments.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Rohit. So MLT and MLP, I don't know. Actually, we have faced in PDSA course last term as well, and I have also posted this query to operational things and the developers team also, but they also not getting the exact reason why the test case are failed due to this NumPy usage. Pass one out of yes. Like 3 okay. So any other query? So both PP we have discussed. So Sandeep, where is Sandeep? Hello, Sandeep. You are
Yes,
asking
sir.
about.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what's your query now in the PP1 or PP2?
PPA1, sir.
Yeah. So where is your code?
Yeah, sir. Just I have posted in chat, sir.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is your code. You have written this again. Okay. Just testing it. Zero. Okay. So what's it? Return FL syntax error. Okay. What is the syntax error? Learn a product and I return FL.
Sir, it's that issue in line 14.
Sorry, what are you saying?
In line 14, there is a bracket issue.
Oh, okay, okay. Same thing.
Yeah, sir.
I still you are getting empty list. You are getting empty list now. So what's your logic? Twin terms NMFL range and M plus one.
Sir, he is
I guess
repeating.
return should be
Return after or
indented little, yeah, to the right, left.
Okay. Now 2, 3 is only coming in the list. 2 and 13. Oh, this is totally wrong. Yeah. So for I range and M plus 1, if N is less than equal to I is less than equal to M minus I is less than equal to M. Okay, so what this condition is representing here? N is less than equal to I. So why, yeah, okay. And I is less than equal to M minus I. And is less than equal to M. So if prime I and prime M minus I.
Sir, I think it should be done with the and, like n is less than equal to I and M minus I less than equal to M. Then this might solve the problem.
So N is less than equal to I. What is the second?
And.
And m minus I is less than equal to m. This thing. Okay, just check it. No, still we are getting error. Now
m minus I will always be less than equal to m. That condition doesn't make sense.
yeah. So why are you doing this? So we are just we can remove this line and we can just check prime I and prime I plus 1. I plus 2. We can take
Also, the range should be changed.
range I plus 2. Okay, should be less than m minus m is last element, and both are inclusive now, so m minus 1 is okay. No. Yeah, 3 passed.
It should be m minus 1. So.
Okay, m minus 1. Yeah, 7 out of 7. Yeah, so Sandeep, we can simply take a loop from I n to m minus 1 and just check that prime I and prime I plus 2, because two continuous value cannot be the prime.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. We can just read the value from n to m minus 1 and just check that if I is prime and I plus 2 is prime. So both are prime, then append both the value in our list. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the definition of twin primes.
Sir, I have one general query. Actually, I had been practicing earlier from Geek for Geeks. So I found it easier to use than CodeChef actually. Just I was wondering, how do you recommend from that side also? Or what is your views on that Geek for Geeks? I mean, just UI is better. I think that's the only thing.
Geeks for Geeks. So contents are lots of content are available on the Geeks for Geeks. I know that.
Okay.
So you can use anything which you are comfortable.
Okay.
You can use HackerRank. There are many websites are available where you can practice on this type of course. So there is no restriction. There is no restriction actually. You can practice from anywhere.
Okay, sir. But up to basic level or up to what level I should?
So you should be start from the basic level.
Okay.
If you have good background, if you have any computer science background, so you can start from the after basic level.
Up to what level I should target? I mean, that's what I'm trying to ask. Actually.
So there is only last level, advanced level.
Okay, no, for this program, because they are
moderate level is fine.
Okay.
Okay. And the problems which we are providing in the assignments, live coding, and these CodeChef platform are enough. If you want to more, then you can move to the another competition platform.
Okay, sir. You will be providing specific problems in CodeChef. I don't.
No, we are not providing actually. They are providing.
Okay.
The problems CodeChef are providing us.
Okay.
We are managing your performance only. What you are submitting, what your marks are coming. So after completion of this term, so we will just calculate your performance. According to that, we will provide the certificate for top 10% student.
Okay. So from CodeChef, you'll be monitoring that performance.
Yeah, so we are just monitoring the performance.
Okay, so basically practice problems is what I have to work on for the.
Yes.
Okay.
And there is no grading for this CodeChef problem.
No, I get it.
So will there be an exam like thing conducted on CodeChef as well?
No. There is no exam we will conduct on the CodeChef. We will conduct one proctored programming exam for this subject, and that exam will be performed on our ITM portal, same portal which we are using.
Yeah,
for
that
the
is related to the course, but for the CodeChef and giving certificate to top 10%.
No. There is no particular exam for the certificate. We will just calculate the all combined marks after completion of all the contents. Then those who are getting highest marks will get the certificate.
Sir, I have understanding issue in GRPA 1. So can you explain the question only?
GRPA 1, okay.
Sir, after that, can you take my doubts that I have initially asked, that self functions? And
Okay, sure.
Yeah, thank
you. Okay. So this is basically find min difference. Okay, so we are asking the minimum difference of the set of p numbers. Okay, so here we have one input list L, and after that there is one integer number p. So we will find out the p elements from the list and just calculate the difference between the minimum and maximum element in these subset of p elements. This difference should be minimum in all possible subset of p elements. So for example, you can just see this example. So there is one example: 3, 4, 1, 9, 56, 7, 9, 12, 13. So there are many. There are 9 elements, and p value is 5. So you have to create a set of elements, set of 5 elements. So for example, if you pick this 5 element, first 5 elements, so 3, 4, 1, 9, 56. So what are the largest element is 56, and what are the minimum element is 1. So what are the difference between maximum and minimum is 56 minus 1, 55. Okay, so there is one possibility. If you take 5 element like this, 4, 1, 9, 5, 6, and 7. So same things, largest is 56 and minimum is 1. So what are the differences? 55. So for example, if you take this 3, 4, 1, 7, 9, these 5 elements in your subset. So largest is 9, minimum smallest is 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8. This difference is 8. So like these things, you have to find out the set of 5 elements where the difference between maximum element and the minimum element should be minimum in all possible.
So as I could understand, sir, we need to find out all possible subset of length 5, and then
you can use the different logic. That is the one possible logic which you are thinking there. Okay.
So how can we, for example, for this given example only, so someone can select these 2 subsets, or someone else can select some other subset. So what is relevance of asking this question? Actually, I'm not able to visualize it. Why? What is the intention of asking this question?
This is actually basic problem, not related to any algorithms, not related to anything. You actually think about this. You are just facing the difficulty on this part, subset parts. How you can create the all subset part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And all.
But this problem can be solved without finding the subset part.
Okay. So
just think about with the different logic.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, this is graded problem. So I think we cannot give more clues.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'll think on this.
Okay, so don't think much about this subset part. This is also a difficult problem. Finding subset is also a difficult problem. Okay. Yeah, so what are the other comments? Sir, in OPP exam, we have to get minimum 25% to one. So there is no condition for passing in OPP exam. Okay, so there is total overall condition 40% should be the overall, not for particular OPP exam.
Sir, how much questions will be there in OPP exam and how much time?
So in the last two term, we just give the 4 problems in 1.5 hours. Where the label of the problems will be the easy, next to easy, and then moderate, then high. So 2 problems are easy and 1 is moderate and last is high.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so 1 second. Yeah, so the contents of the week 1 is basically related to about why we are using these subjects and why the efficiency is required, how we can improve our course. So what is the basic goal for this subject is first is thing, identify the number of operation or instruction when program runs. Okay, when we write any code to solve any problems, so first we can just understand that what we are calculating here, to understand the complexity or understanding the time things, which code is better, which code is not better compared to the others. So basic thing, we just calculate the number of instruction or operation when the program runs. So for example, this is the one simple problem. Okay, so there is one simple function total AB, or this, and after that there are 2 line codes is given. First line is this and second line is this. So when we run this code, so for example, if we can give any value for A and B, after that 2 line will be executed always. So you can give any value for A and B, and after that always 2 line will be executed. So dependency is not there for input here. Okay, so for the next 2 line, so always for any input, these always 2 line will be executed. So we can see that, so this instruction will take a constant time, fixed time. Okay, and you can move to the second. So here there is one another code is given here. So we are just receiving one input n value. After that we are just one line for initialization s equal to 0, and then we are just using one loop. Okay, so I in range n, and after that we are just executing one instruction inside the loop, and then print s. So here the number of instruction executed at the running time will be dependent on the input. Okay, so if you are providing n equal to 5, so your this loop will be run 5 times, or we can say that 6 times, one last for the exit, and this internal line will be executed exit 5 times. If you change the input value n, if for example, if you are just taking n equal to 100, this for loop will execute 101 times, and this line number 4 will be executed 100 times. So that means here the total number of instructions are dependent on your input. Okay, so sometimes our code is dependent on our input. So how many number of instruction or operation will be executed, so it depends on our input. So our goal is basically what is that. So same for the next example, here we are using 2 for loop. So for every value of the first loop, we will execute complete second loop. So we can say that this loop inside loop, we can say that this line number 4 loop will be executed n square times. Okay, so there is one dependency between input and number of instructions which are executed. So our goal is basically to reduce this total execution number of execution. So identify the relationship between number of instruction and input size. So for what input, our number of instruction execution should be minimum. So definitely, if one instruction is executing, it will take some time, clock time. We can say that it will take some clock time. If we are executing this one line 100 times, it will take some time. And same line, if we are executing 1000 times, it will take more time compared to the 100 times. So if we can reduce this number of instructions which are executing, so we can reduce the time as well. So this is the main goal. So for writing the solution for any problem, our goal should be used to this minimize this dependency. Okay, for input n. So sir have discussed some example for GCD and prime number. Calculate the prime. So sir started from the basic naive approach. So for computing this GCD, sir take some basic approach here, GCD m and n. So first approach is that we are just creating a list. After that, we are just taking a loop from 1 to minimum of m and n, because our GCD value cannot be less than to the minimum value. So for example, if m is equal to a larger value and n is the smaller value, so our GCD always will be greater than or equal to this smallest value. No, sir. Our GCD will be always less than this smallest value. Okay, so we will take the loop with the minimum of m and n. So this is the first approach to finding out this GCD. So we are just calculating here the common divisor value, and if we found the common divisor value, just we are appending this into the CF list, common factor list, and after that we are returning the last value because we are finding the greatest common divisor. So we will return the last value. This is the first approach. One is a factor. So what? Why not initialize? CF equal to y. Ravina, MRCF. Where is MRCF?
Is in next course, sir. GCD.
Okay. This one. Yeah. So actually, this is the first approach. After that, we can in the second approach we are eliminating this list. Why we are storing the all value in the list? Because we are returning the last value. So we are interested to find out the last greatest divisor. So we can avoid this list and just replace this MRCF value every time we found. So the code are similar, but we are not using any list to store all value. So every time if we found any common divisor, so we will just replace this MRCF value with I. Okay. So for example, if we are finding the common divisor between 10 and 20, so first we will find 2. First we will find 1. Okay. So after that, this value will store the 1 value. Then second we will find the 2 value, which 2 is also dividing the 10 and 20 both. So this MRCF value will be replaced by 2. Then we will find the 5. So this MRCF value will be replaced by 5. And then 10. So this MRCF will be replaced by 10. So finally, when this loop will be completed, so we will get the last updated value. So that will be the largest divisor. So here we are not improving any things, but we are just avoiding the use of list. Okay, list of common factor which we use.
Here we are not initializing MRCF but using it directly. Why? Because it can take the type of I as a variable. Correct?
Sorry.
We are directly using in the chat box. It was asked why MRCF is not initialized before the for loop. So it is because that variable type of I is taken directly by MRCF.
Yeah. No need to initialization here. Yeah. So next is the so efficiency. Both version of GCD takes time proportional to the minimum of m and n. So our loop will be run only till value minimum of m and n. So how we can how we can compute this GCD in better way? So there is one logic here. Suppose d divides m and n, and then that means m equal to a into d. So d is the common divisor. So after multiplying this d into a one constant value a, so we can get this m value. Then same things for the second, d into v equal to n. So we can calculate these things. D also divides m minus n. Okay. So using this logic, we can find out this GCD things. So initially we are finding out the maximum value of our m and n, and the minimum value of our m and n, and we are just assigning the maximum value of in A and the minimum value in B. After that, we are just calculating that if we are A is completely divided by B, so we just return the B is the largest GCD, greatest common divisor. Otherwise, we will just recursively call this function using this B and A minus B. So we can reduce our steps using this approach, but there is one case. If the value of the any variable, any input variable is very less and another value is very large, so it takes approx n steps. Okay, so it's still not efficient. For example, if the first m value is 1, so second value is 1000. So every time we will replace this 1000 minus 1. So one value come here 1000, and second value come here. Next is a minus b. So 1000 minus 1, 9. So we will call this GCD function recursively 1000 times. So it is not efficient in some cases. So finally is the Euclid algorithms. So here, this is the efficient algorithm which takes times proportional to the number of digit in max. How many number of digits in the maximum value of m and n? Because here we are just here we are checking that a is completely divided by b and return b. Otherwise, we will just call this function recursively by b and a percentile b, a remainder b. So what are the remainder of a and b? So this value will be reduced. Yeah, so the reminder value will be reduced in the number of steps, number of digits time. So what are the number of digits in the maximum value? So this recursive call will be based on this maximum number. So number of step will be reduced. So this is the efficient way to calculate the GCD.
Sir, I got this implementation. I implemented it myself. But while watching the lecture, I have noticed that like when you are calling it recursively.
Yeah, what's the query?
I'm asking. Hello. Yeah. So
yes.
I'm asking why we are considering the fact that R is also like divisible by. If you have seen in the lecture.
So what's the lecture? To see in the PPTs.
Like sir has said that over there, R must be of the form CD. Okay, so why that D factor is the part of R? Like why we are considering that?
Okay, so I have to look the PPTs of the lecture. 1 second. I'm just looking the PPTs. What the exact things is there? We can do. So this is the prime. One second. So this is GCD.
So since the exercise is about finding the common divisor, there has to be a divisor, otherwise it will be 1, right? So there has to be a D.
But why only that particular D? That's what I am asking.
It
Like
could be any D. It could be any D. In the worst case, the value could be 1.
No. That is fine. Like in the worst scenario, it would be 1, but it is the same D we are taking for the rest of the numbers, right? If you have seen the Euclid's algorithm explanation which was given by Sir.
Okay, so if it's 2 places that we've used D as a reference, it's just a reference. It's not exactly the same D. It's just a general call, like the way we call X all the time for X in something, right? So I think that's what my understanding.
No, Sir has taken like M is equals to AD and N is equals to BD, then, right? So
yeah.
and then Sir, eventually Sir proved that not proved but written that R must be of the form CD. Right. So that's what I'm asking. Like, why this particular D, not any other D? Because if it is any other D, then it must be D dash or something else.
Okay, so where you are talking about?
So seen Euclid's algorithm.
Euclid algorithms. So okay, this is not beside that. This is?
Yeah. This is.
So what are the exact things? Suppose n does not divide m, okay. Then m equal to q n plus r. Suppose d divides both m and n. Then m equal to ad. So there are 2 conditions actually. If n does not divide m, so we are taking m equal to qn plus r. Does not divide m equal to qn plus r. Equal to ad. And last thing is r must be of the form CD. Okay.
So the left hand side is divisible by D because m is equal to AD, right? N is already of a form of QBD, as you see here. We've replaced it. So obviously the last factor that's left also has to be a multiple of D only for it to be able to be divisible by D, right? Second last line in here says second last line if you see,
okay.
Right? So here if M is already AD, which means it has D as a factor. Now first part of this, which is Qn, is already if we put N is equal to BD, it has D as a factor, right? Now the only piece that's left, if it would not have D, then M will not be actually satisfying the condition of being divisible by D, right? So R has to be compliant, it has to be a factor, D has to be a factor of R. That's why they're writing in general CD.
Yeah. So
Animesh, basically whatever Ravina has mentioned in the chat, I got it. Like, but you are generalizing it. And you are right. Like Sir has also explained the same way. Can you explain the logic behind why it should be, it must be a form of, like, it contains that factor D to be a divisible, right?
So if there is one factor that's divisible by D, which is M, right? On the right hand side, if you divide it into 2 parts, first factor is divisible by D. Can the other be not divisible by D and still the left hand side condition be satisfied? Think of anything else which is a D dash here. Would that D dash essentially be divisible by D?
No.
So that was the, I mean, it's proved by the contradiction. I think that's the approach that they've
Now,
taken.
suppose you take the example of 25 and 15, where 15 does not divide 25, but both are divisible by 5. So in that case, it will be easier for you to understand. Here, the common factor D can be later on plugged in.
Now I got it.
Yeah, so you can understand these type of improvement with some example. So, okay. Yeah. So equivalent algorithms. Yeah. After that, computing prime. So, sir, have we started from the basic approach? Here we are just creating the all factor list factor. For I range 1 to n plus 1, then we are dividing this n by I. If we find 0, then we are just appending this factor in our factor list. So in last, we will check that return factor of n equal to 1 comma n. So if value is prime, if a number of input, if n is prime, then definitely these two values should be factor for that. If we are getting more than these two factors, so definitely this value is not prime. There is one way, but it will take the n steps to computing this. Okay, because our loop is going from 1 to n plus 1. Second is counting primes up to m. So this is basically calculating all the primes value. So this is not related to the, we are not comparing this. So we are creating a list, prime list for I in range, and we are calling the upper function prime n. Where is the prime? Yeah. So we are just checking every value which is prime or not, and we are appending. So we are creating the list of prime numbers here. Okay, this is the different things. So computing prime, other approach. So why we are dividing these value from 1 to n minus 1, so 2 to n minus 1 basically. So we can reduce this loop by n by 2. Okay, in the previous solution, we are just starting from 2 to n, and we are dividing this n by every value of I. But we can reduce this loop by n by 2. 2 to n by 2 is enough. Okay, so we can reduce this number of steps in the second approach. So it will reduce the half of the execution. And after that, this one another approach, terminate after we find the first factor. Yeah, we can improve more. We can just use the termination if we found any factor in between, while we are checking, while we are running complete loop. If we found anything, any factor, so we can terminate. So this will improve our code in some cases. But after that, there is one final thing. We can reduce this loop till square root of the n. So this is the one efficient algorithm. We can reduce the while result and I is less than equal to math dot square root n. We can start from the 2 value and we just move to the square root of the n. And we can check that our input n is prime or not by just going till square root of n. So this is one efficient. So we can just improve our
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir. So can we explain this math dot square root of n part? Like I didn't get it from the lecture. Sir has told something like factors occur in pairs, but I didn't understand why we are taking this square root of n.
So we can just check that if our n is divided by 2 to square root of n value. Okay, so that means that value is not prime if it is divisible by square root of n value. So for example, if we are starting from 2, so I here is start from the 2 value. Okay, and we are just checking that n is divisible by I equal to 0, then result equal to false. So where what is the length of our while loop is 2 to square root of n. So for example, if we are just calculating this, that 16, okay, yeah. So we are just calculating that 15 is prime or not. Okay, so we will start to checking that. So what are the square root of, hello?
Hello, yes, sir.
Yeah, so if we are checking, for example, if we are checking that 16 is prime or not. So why we are just checking to divide every number from 2 to n by 2. We can just stop till math dot square root of n. So this math dot square root of n will return the square root of this n. Okay, we are taking 16, that will return the 4. So we can just take 2 to 4 value as I and just check that 16 is divisible by 2 or not, 3 or not, and 4 or not. Okay, so these these value are enough to check the number is divisible or not by any number. So this is one also algorithm to check the number is prime or not, because after that every value will be repeated. So we can
Sir,
take.
I have a doubt, like why it is happening.
So okay, well,
Factor thing.
So, sir has told in the lecture like factor occurs in pairs. What does that mean?
Actually, okay, I'm just taking example. So for example, if we are taking 49, huh? Okay, 49 is n. What is the square root of 49 is 7. Okay, and we are starting from 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So after that, if we repeat this number, so for example, 8, 9, 10, these number will always be divisible by any of these numbers. So for example, if you check this 8, it is also divisible by 2. So this same for 9, 3, 10 is also 2, 5. So there's no need to check to divide by these remaining numbers. If we are checking this 49 divided by 2 to 7, that is enough to check. If any value is divisible by 2 to 7 number, so this is the repetition part actually. If value have any factor, so for example, if any value have any factor, so
I think if we can take example of say 64, then 64, that will help. Why? Because
64, okay.
Yeah, it
that
will
is
so
8. Yeah,
we
so
can start from 2, 4,
2, 3, 4,
8.
5, 6, 7, 8 till now. Okay, so the square root of 64 is 8. Okay, after that we can ignore this 9, 10, 11, 12, everything. So that is the enough actually, because if you are dividing this 64 by 8, what you are getting? 8, and the 8 into 8. So these remaining values are greater than this 8. If your number is divisible by this 8, so the second value of the will be the 8 into 8. Okay, so we are taking this 8 from here, and that means if we take any value from here also, so that is not possible. So if we are getting any solution from, for example, if this number is divisible by 4, so 4 into 16. Okay, so if we have already checked with 4, 64 is divisible by 4, so remainder, so what are the value is 16. So 16 will come in the next part. So this is the repetition part actually. we can get this value by the in given sequence. So 8 into 8, we can get 8 into 8. Okay, so this is the maximum value, and after that we can get 7 into larger value, 6 into we can get any value if it is divisible. But this is the repetition part. This is not possible if our value is divisible by in this part, so there is no need to check the remaining part. If this is not divisible by in this part, so definitely it will not be divisible by remaining part also. So if you take, for example, 60, any prime number you can take.
67.
67. So what are the upper square root value is 9. Okay, so we will check only till 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so we can get this value divided by only 67. So this value can be divided by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, if it is not divisible by any of these values, if you taking the large value after that, so 10, so the second value will always we come in this set. Okay, so this will never be greater than this 9. 10, 11. So 11 into, for example, the maximum value are possible is 11 into 6. So 11 into 6, that means 11 is 66. Okay, so but if you are checking from this 11, so second value is 6, so this is already covered by this 6. You have already checked by 6. So if this value is for example, this is 66, so why we are checking from the both side 11 and 6. Of this we are getting this 11 into 6, so we have already checked this by 6 into 11 here. Okay, same things why we are checking from 33. Okay, so what is the second multiplication value? 33 into 2. So if this value is divisible by 33, so that means this value is also divisible by this 2, which is we have already checked. So this square root value is enough to check the value is prime or not. So same thing, 22 into 3, we are getting 66, but the second part is coming from in this set. Okay, so after this square root value, the second multiplication part will always come from this set. If we are dividing this n from any number. Okay, so we can check that 66 remainder 22 equal to 0. We will also get 66 remainder 3 equal to 0. So this condition will be checked by this 3. So why we are moving to this 22. Okay, so because of that, the divisor value is till square root is enough to check the prime numbers. Okay, exception handling. So exception handling is also important, but some error you should know about this error. What is the error actually? What are the meaning of this error? So some common syntax error, which is the caused by syntax. If you write some invalid syntax in your code, so you will get the syntax error. And second is the name error. If any variable is not defined, any function name is not defined, if you are using this name which are not defined, you will get the name error. Zero division error. If you are dividing any value by 0, so you will get the zero division error. Index error. If you are using any index which are not available in your sequence, so you will get the index error. So these are some basic error you should know why we are error is generating. Sanjeev, half of the factors of a number come before square root of the number and half after that. Half of the factors of a number come before square. Is there any? So half of the factor always come. So half of that, you have to check this. Yeah, you're correct. Actually, if some number is divisible by 3 from the three numbers before the square root, so definitely it will there is always 3 after the square. Yeah, you are correct. Yeah, so these are some error you should know about this, why these errors are coming. We can handle these errors using this try except things, but these exception handling is more important when we are when we are writing the code for any applications, for any software development like things. So our application should not be crashed, should not be stopped due to these type of error. We can handle these error using this type except thing. So these are the more important concept when we are developing any application or any software. And in our programming part, so we should know about that, why, how we can use these things. So you can handle if is there if any error is coming, so your code should not be crashed. You can handle these error. If you are getting any error, you can write some other codes to handle this. For example, you can write your code block in the try part here. If you are getting index error, you can write code here from that to handle this error. If you are getting name error and key error, so you can handle you can write your code to handle this from here. So this is the structure for exception handling. You can use this. It will be helpful in the upcoming courses like AppDev1, this type of course. Yeah, this is the class object things. So basically class and object is also important, as a Python is also an object oriented language. So basically what is class? So class is a blueprint, or we can say that class is a template for the object, where some properties and some methods are defined for the object. So what are the properties we will store for the object, what are the methods or function we will perform for the object, we will define everything in the class. So when we create these objects for the class, so our object will perform all these operations which are defined in the class. And so there are two types of member we generally use in the class. So one is data member, and one is the one we call the data member, and the second is the function or method. I'm not getting the exact name. One we use to the store the properties, and second is the behavior. We can say that the behavior, what the operation we are performing. So we just use the method and the variables in the class. We define this method and variables for the object. So object is basically a particular instance of the class we can create for it. So here one example is given. So there is one class point. These are some variable which are defined for the object. If we, so this init is called the constructor. So this is the special type of method in the class. This constructor will always call when we created any object for this class. So this constructor will automatically called, and all the part of this code executed. So we use this constructor to initialize the object variables in our class. So here we can see that this self is basically the reference for a particular instance or object, and this a equal to 0 and b equal to 0 is the parameter for this point class. So basically when we create,
can you elaborate on the working of self?
Self is basically a reference to a particular instance or object. when we create the object for this class, so at that time that this self is represent to the particular object which are created for. For example, if we are creating one object here, point p equal to 0.3, 4. So during this creation of object, this self is point to this p object. At the
Sir,
after that,
is it like this keyword in of Java?
sorry, what you're saying?
In Java, we have this keyword. Is it something like that?
So no, I'm not listen about this keyword in Java actually.
Okay.
But
So yes, in
this
Java,
is
this objects to the object,
this
and
okay,
here
this.
self refers to the object. Yes.
Okay, this, yeah. So yeah, these are the same things. These are the some basic reference for the instance. Okay, if we are talking about this object, if we are working for this object, so this self will work. Self will point to this q object. So we can access using this q dot each variable q dot x, q dot y, then q dot translate. So at the time, this self will access everything for this q. So self is basically represent the reference of the instance or object. So this constructor will execute at the object creation
Sir,
time.
hello.
Huh?
So what is the usage of giving this a equal to 0 and b equal to 0 in the constructor?
This is the default value. If you do not provide any value, for example, you can create a object for point class without passing these parameters. So at that time, if you are not providing any value for this object point for p, so by default value will be 0 and 0. This is the default parameter.
Okay, then cell. Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, by
Self
default,
dot
this,
x would be 0 and.
yes. So you can create an object without using these parameters. So by default, this value will be initialized 0 and 0. Okay, this is called the default parameter.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so these are called the object variables, and these are called the object methods you can use for particular object. After creating the object, you can call this object using this object name, and you can perform this operation. So same things here, o distance, and these are some things we perform some operation with for the object purpose. So if, for example, these are one add operation. Okay, so this operation basically, when we are calling this, just we are getting this 0.3, 4. So what it will return, actually it will return this string object, it will return one points. So it will return like this 3, 4. Okay, 1 second, yeah, p equal to 0.0. Okay, second point str, yeah. This is important limited method square root return d. Okay, so if we are using this str, so it will return the points in the string format. Okay, so it will return the point in string format. We have written, we can return anything in the str method, underscore str method. So this will return the object p. So here object of p is 3, 4. This is returning by this str method. This is one object, and we can perform the operation between two objects. So by default, there is one add method we have used. So when we call, if we want to perform the operation between two objects, so here we are performing the operation between p plus q. So by default, this add perform the we can call this add function using this plus operator. So one is p, there is one object we are getting from here, and second is q. So this is also a 2 points. So there is one points. So for example, if we are writing the P, so there is one point for the self is available for P, and second point we are receiving from here. So this there is one for self of P and P. Okay, so return point Pxy. Yeah, so okay, when we are using this plus operator, so this add operation will be performed. So point self x plus py, and 1 second, add returning point of what is this, self dot x plus px. Okay. And this self dot p, point self dot x plus px. So p is also a object px. Okay, yeah, so when we are performing this operation p plus q, that means we are performing adding operation between two objects p and q. So one is the self p, and second we are passing as a q, as here we are just taking a variable name p. Okay, so this q value will be passed here. So one we will take the self dot x, so there is one value p dot x. So what is the p dot x is 3, and second value we will receive from here, so q dot x. Okay, we are passing actually from here q, so this value will be passed as a p here, and q dot x will be performed. So what is the value? Q of x is 5, so we will 3 plus 5 we will get 8. Same for self dot y. Self dot y is p dot y, which is 4, and this p we are passing from here, so then this is the q value, q dot y. Q dot y is 8. So 4 and 8 we will get 12. So if we want to, yeah.
Sir, in this, like, we are passing p, right?
We are actually here we are just calling this p plus q.
But
Okay.
in the argument, if you take like
no, so this is not the this is just a parameter which are the different from this object. You can take anything, so you can take a, b, c, anything.
So instead of calling these function, we just are writing p plus q, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can directly perform these operations like add, multiplication, division using this method p plus q. So it will directly call this method add. Okay, and the value of the q will be passed as the second parameter here. One is self, which is which will reference to this p, and this p will reference to this q, and both value will be passed in this add method, and the value will be returned.
Okay, like if we are writing here, so we can if we have another point, let's say z, so we can write print p plus q plus z.
Yes, you can. I think that okay. Just perform this. So at the same times, two operation will be performed. Then next operation will be performed. Once. Okay, just create. See. Okay, chat. Take p plus. Second. So 3, 15 and 22. So 3, 5, yeah, 15 and 4, 8, 10, 22. So at the one time, so P plus Q will be performed. Then what we say, we get the result. Then we will add the next one.
So, sir, I am not still getting the definition point of this method, particular method. Like we are taking self.x. What is the meaning of particular self? Let's leave the example, whatever point we are taking. But we are taking like self.x, then p.x. So
you can take, for example, you are confusing with this P. Actually, we have already used this P. Okay, you can take X here.
Okay.
You are getting same. Okay, so this is just a parameter variable name. Okay, so if you are calling this P plus, so first P plus, when you are calling this, when you write these things, so by default this add method will be called for the P.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
the
it will
second
go.
and yeah, and then second value will be passed as a X reference of the Q object, and then we can perform the operation of addition which we want to perform in the initial part. We can perform and return it. Okay, so this add method will be by default called when we use this plus operator.
No, here like initially it will taking P, then it will adding the components of Q in P, right?
No, actually we are just calling this P plus. So the method of this P object. Okay, so method for this P object will be called, where the self is referencing to this P, and X value will be passed, this Q will be passed as a X.
Okay, and then how Z is working?
After the solution we are getting from this. Okay.
Okay.
Then same things. We will perform the same. I think. Okay. P plus Q. And plus Z. So left to right or right to left.
Is there any debugging?
Actually, debugging. Okay. One second. Yeah, so debugging we can use. So yes, we should. What is this? What is the? There is one debug here, and
remove that extra D in add method. So that by mistake you have that D of def is gone to the add.
Okay. Yeah. Okay,
And
so
that add is having extra D. Yeah.
Okay, so there is one break, and we can perform debugging. Yeah, so what the special variable function point function. So these are some object things. Okay, 1 second. So DEF is not, we can use different. So DEF. Call to point at this time. So what is the value? At self.x first is calling, and then return value from the point to add. Okay, and call to point at once again. Yeah, so it will return a new object here. Actually, no. So when we call this first function p plus q, it will return a new object.
Okay, whatever the addition it will get, it return object for that.
Yeah, so we will get 3, 5, 8, 12 new object here after getting the submission of this. Then that object will perform this operation again. Okay, so we will get the new. So we are calling the new function here. So it will create the new object that will return. Okay. So you can use MUL, you can use the SUB, and when you these type of method will be automatically called when you use the operator plus, minus, multiplication, and division operator.
And if I change the name of this method, add to something else, will it work fine like this?
I think no. Okay, just changing
name
the
should
name.
Be same like.
Yeah, so these are the predefined name. So if we are calling this add one, I think it will not work. Yeah, so this is what the error. Okay, this is the predefined.
These are predefined method which we are overriding over here.
Yeah, so you can use this using these operators plus, minus, multiplication, these things. Or when you use this print operation on this object, so this string str method will be called. Okay, so when you just use this print p, at the time this str will be called and these two value will be printed.
So every time we print something, it should be, it is
yeah.
always
So this this str will be called if you have written anything in this str, so that part will be printed.
Okay.
Okay. So using this print, this str will be called, and using this operator, this add, this part will be called. So these are some predefined methods we can use for the class. Okay. So yeah, there is one timer module. So you can use this part to calculate your calculate the time of your code. Okay, these are some class which sir have created. Otherwise, you can simply create a file to calculate this part.
Sir, in that particular code, timer code, sir has used str again there, but this time the syntax would be different.
1 second. What are the str
at last? Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, when the sir use this printy, so at that time this will be printed. This part will be printed.
That codes were not there no, while printing, like we have encountered in the earlier example.
No. So this is actually a class timer.
Okay.
Okay. We have defined one str function, and we are returning this inside this str function. Return str.self. So where is the str?
This str is also the predefined function, right?
This str, okay. So this str is not there in the code.
No.
Okay, so I think cell dot same times it will be called again.
See, str is a string data type, and underscore str underscore is for print function.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the actually typecast str. This is not a function. This is a typecasting thing.
And what about this particular str def? This particular
This
line
is a
def?
method. This is a method.
It's not the
This
same
is a
method we
ma-
used earlier in the above
Yeah,
example.
this is the same.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the same method which we are used here, str. But the second str is basically a typecasting. We are
Okay,
just converting this time into a string. Time
Okay.
value into the strings. So when we use this print t, that time this will be called. Okay, so it will return this str self left. Okay.
So when to use which, like, I'm still like confused in this, but I know that like this is typecasting taking place here. Okay. But earlier also we can directly typecast it, but we haven't but we use some default methods, basically default things to.
It depends on you what type of what you want to print. If you can print also without str, if you can just run the code. Control V. So the next part is imports is, so this is the big code. The small value. Okay. Start. So we have to create class. So let's type this. Okay, 1 second, I have to check the code. Something is missing. Time equal to none, start self equal to this set of a counter. What is the self? Let's return. Self dot, I think. Okay. So self dot. Start missing one required positional argument. Start. Start time. Self dot start time is not time error. Timer error. So why this error is coming? Self start missing one required position self.
So go to line number 32. 33, sorry. I think
Yes,
timer should have bracket, no?
Okay. It's not plus. Yeah, got it. Okay. So this is the part. If we need to remove this. Oh. Still return non-string type float. Okay, so this method always return the string type value. Non-string float type float. And then in the last we are calling points. Okay. So okay. So at that time, so in the last method, we are also converting this str. So this str method will always return in the string format.
But sir, what about these quotes like before brackets, like we are giving these quotes?
Which line?
Line number 17 only. After return C, we are giving bracket, and then inside quotes we are again giving starting the bracket. This syntax I am talking.
This is actually a string part. Okay. We are adding
Okay, it is we are concatenating.
Yes. So we are just combining these two strings here.
Okay, got it. Like I was confused in these things from last 3 days.
Oh no,
Sorry.
this is we are concatenating.
Okay, got it now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, any other query? I think we have completed. Any other query? For the timer things, you can also use the small code. No need to write the complete these things. You can use, for example, if you want to calculate the time for small code. So, for example, this GCD code, or we can just see the prime. So you can use this import time. And one more things I want to tell you was you can import Snoop. You can use for the debugging the code. Actually, Snoop show the line by line code. First things I will discuss later. Why this red flag is coming? Red light. I don't know what is this. Import time. And you can just call this T1 equal to time dot perf counter and you can call the prime function prime, for example, things, and T2 equal to time dot perf counter. Yeah, this is correct. So yeah, you can print T2 minus T1, T2 minus T1. Okay. One, something is missing.
Some brackets are missing.
Yeah. So I'm taking big value, I think.
So we can directly import the time library.
Yes. So we can directly import and you can directly use this function. So this when we use first time, it will take the value of first timer, And after complete your code, you can call the your code in between, and then calculate the second time timer value, and you can calculate the difference between one
Will it work inside the portal itself?
Portal, yes.
Okay.
It works. Yeah. So
why it is taking so much time?
I don't know if this is due to.
Why? Because here by
Okay,
2
just
itself
take
it
a
is
small
divisible.
Yeah, it takes time. So we have already taken the large value, so the loop will be large. Because of that, it takes time.
No, I just no, but the earlier number itself was even number. So why it was taking that much time?
No, not even not. Actually, the value is large. Actually, we are taking the value is large.
Yeah, understood that, but
every time we are perform this dividing operations, so because of
English, it is taking time just because sir has not stopping it after no checking it the conditions. Okay, that's why like there is no break statement after that.
Yeah, so there is no break statement, and this loop will run completely.
Yeah, that's why it's taking too much time.
Yeah.
let's try using break over here.
So we can perform the better algorithms like this. So prime, yeah, okay, this one. Stop. And okay, change this method. Okay. Yeah, you can see that. For the same large value, this efficient method returning the answer in very minimum time. So we can take more large value like that. It will take less time. Yeah. So we can compare our solution using this timer, the actual time. Okay. So after B2, there are some problems which are configured where we are testing the time efficiency of your code. So for example, if you will learn the sorting and searching, so you can perform the searching operation in Python in the one line statement. But we will require the efficient solution using the binary search. So these type of things are configured on the portal. So you cannot use the built-in function of the Python directly. Okay. Okay, any other query or should be closed? Okay, I think there's no query. Okay, so we are closing this session. If you have any query, you can post your query on Discord. So we will reply on that if you have. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you for the session. Good night.
Good night.